You feel the sting of the needle stabbing into your tongue and the sweet release of combat stimulants into your bloodstream. Your augmented neuromuscular system whirs to life as it feeds on the chemical fuel source, a surge of energy for a supercharged machine of death, a body of violence. Blood fills your mouth as the needle slides out and drops to the floor. You bite down on your tongue, squeezing as much sensation out of the wound as you possibly can. It hurts. You like that it hurts. The hurt makes you feel good. But it isn't enough. It's never enough. You fish through your front pouch for one more. One last jolt to set your nervous system on fire. You stick your tongue out, snake-like, dripping blood down your chin. Another sweet sting. Another dose of adrenal joy. You want it. You hold the injector out like an ice pick, ready to be stabbed straight through the icy core of your body. A hand quickly wraps itself around your wrist, constricting it, stopping you.
Think that's enough, mate.
The hand belongs to your friend, standing tall in front of you, statuesque and fearsome.
Don't want you burning out your noggin before the fun starts.
A small part of you, the weak part, likes to think that she cares about you. The other part of you, the one holding the injector, wants her to do terrible things to you. Her name is Flower Boy.
Okay.
You manage to say with your idiot tongue out. You hand over your last stim to her. She pockets it in one of her pouches. You feel good listening to Flower Boy. And then you hear another voice speak.
Now, I'm all for our pal having a good time, obviously, but it was getting a bit too much, even for me.
That voice also belongs to a friend of yours. You like this friend. You like that he cares about you, and you like that he always wants you to feel good. He's also extremely good at making new holes in people you've never met before, and he can do it from farther away than you. His name is Orphan Maker.
It's getting worse, Johnny. They've never taken this much before. Not all at once, at least.
I don't blame them. I had to take 2 daggers for this one.
A combat stimulant stabbed into the neck like a dagger. All mercenaries took it. The drug boosts reflexes and reaction time, blunts pain, increases strength and speed. The works.
Fury.
That was what the label said on the dagger. The name of the rainbow you kept chasing. Most demons would take 1 or 2. Maybe more if they needed it. You aren't most demons. Not anymore. You've had a dozen. Empty daggers littered around your feet like corpses in a killing field. The biomechanical system you think of as your body was designed to absorb fury by the truckload. If you have a limit, you haven't found it yet. Maybe you don't have one. Your friends are worried about you. Really worried. Taking that much fury all at once is dangerous. As if your augmentations didn't already rip your mind and nervous system into ribbons. Not that you care. Or at the very least, are you able to care anymore? Should that worry you? Should you be concerned? Should you care about not being able to care? No, stop thinking. Stop thinking. It doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered for a long time now. Not to you. Not to the person who had you augmented. You try to tell your friends that you're fine. One more dagger of fury isn't going to hurt. But you can't find the right words. They feel heavy and strange, as if a copy of you was trying to speak them into the world and failing. You can see yourself outside of your own body. Your consciousness hangs in front of your eyes, looking back in. You sit silent, puppeting the meat suit, watching yourself watch yourself do things. Everything looks too fast and too slow. You move your hands in front of your eyes and watch as they trail behind, like a rainbow. You can see your own face, and it doesn't look right. You don't recognize who this person is. This is a stranger, and it scares you. Something's wrong.
I'm just worried about them, you know. It's like they're barely even there anymore.
Yeah, I know, Daisy, I know. Listen, Fruitcake is probably just feeling a little understimulated right now. How about you help them with that?
Fruitcake. You always liked that name.
Understimulated, huh?
Flower Boy reaches over and holds you under your jaw. She turns you over, looking at your eyes.
How about some calibrations? Would that make you happy, Fruity?
You want to say the words, "Yes, please. Thank you for helping me. You're extremely pretty, and I care about you." Instead, your maw opens and the words,
Fuck me up.
stumble out.
Want me to fuck you up, Fruity?
You nod your head rapidly.
Can do.
She smiles. It's wide and toothy, and reminds you of a chainsaw you once sat on. Flower Boy clenches her fists tight, her massive arms like machines designed to only dispense violence. The only thing bigger is the missile launcher mounted on her shoulder and plugged directly into her nervous system. It's impressive and expensive, but you always liked her biceps more. She slings her knuckles towards your face, a face begging to be smashed apart. But you don't let it happen. Sadly, that's not part of the game. Instead, you dodge, her tender fist sailing by your head. Part of you sighs. You're not sure which part it is. Her punches come in bunches. She throws one after the other, quick, a flurry of fury, slicing through the air. You feel the muscles in your neck twitch. Your head moves in just the right angles to dodge her blows, placed perfectly in the empty space of her attack. You feel sad. You want her to touch you.
Lords below.
Orphan Maker smiles and takes a long drag of his cigarette.
Look at the two of you go.
He inhales a lungful of smoke and shoots it out of his nose. Orphan Maker is always relaxed and easygoing. It's what you like about him. And then you see it. The moment he stops relaxing. It starts with the fur on the back of his neck standing up, then his pupils shrinking to pinpricks as his gut feeling kicks in. A shiver runs through the entire length of his body. He sees something he doesn't like.
Whoa, wait!
Orphan Maker drops his cigarette in a panic.
Daisy, you're about to hit him!
She listens. She knows better than to ignore his gut feeling, but her fist was already in motion. After you dodged this last attack, no more would follow from her. Void. It was unacceptable. You don't dodge, you just wait. Flower Boy's gentle, loving fist makes contact with your cheek. Your head whips to the side and blood sprays into the air. Part of you feels horrified. Another part feels euphoria.
Fuck!
You always like it when she swears.
Come on! You did that on purpose, you bloody drongo!
You don't say anything. Too dizzy and awestruck to speak. Instead, you look up at her and smile, your teeth stained red. Orphan Maker sucks in air through his teeth and grimaces.
Ooh. You alright, Fruitcake? Daisy didn't knock an eye out, did she?
No, I don't think so.
Flower Boy leans down and gives you a careful once-over.
Papers still in their sockets.
A tooth?
She sticks her fingers in your mouth and opens your jaw. You feel your entire body sing.
Nuh-uh. All accounted for.
Phew.
Orphan Maker slumps his shoulders down and leans back.
Well, that's good at least.
That said, I think that was a lot more stimulation than we bargained for, Johnny.
What do you mean?
She points to you, to the blush spreading slowly across your face. Orphan Maker blinks.
Oh,
You imagine what you must look like to her. A sappy mess looking up with puppy dog eyes, drunk with pain and infatuation. You lick your lips and your teeth, tasting your own blood. Flower Boy watches you. You think you see her blushing. There is so much you want to tell her. Words you're struggling to put together coherently. In the end, you only manage two.
Again, please.
Flower Boy stops, thinking. She looks to her left at Orphan Maker, who only gives a shrug.
You know what makes them happy, Daisy.
Yeah, guess I do.
Flower Boy wraps her other hand around your neck, her palm on the base of your skull, bringing you closer to her. She calls this position a single collar tie. You like this position.
Just one more.
She says in a whisper, gentle.
One more to give you a nice bloody nose. Would you like that, Fruity?
You nod, or at least, you think you do. You might have just drooled more blood down your neck. Whatever it is you did, you see her draw her fists back, her biceps bulging as she readies herself to fuck open the soft flesh on your skull wide.
Stop.
She stops.
Don't indulge them until the job's done. You'll make them dull.
The voice belongs to the man driving the behemoth you think you're in. He squeezes the steering wheel and keeps his eyes on the desert ahead of him. This man is your leader. He's also your friend. His name is Hostage Killer.
Oh, fuck off, Leo. I was in a good mood.
Flower Boy shoots Hostage Killer a glare.
And don't you use that boy shit on me. I ain't afraid of ya.
I know. I just wanted to get your attention.
Oh, come on. What's wrong with Daisy giving them one more?
I said not until we're done. And call signs only when we're on and off.
Orphan Maker rolls his eyes.
Whatever you say, killer.
Oh, right. That's why you're here. You were hoping you were in the APC because you and your friends were going to that nice restaurant in the Upper Artery. The one with the spicy blood noodles you like, and the corpse flowers by the entrance. But no, it was a mission. Which in this case means fetch. And fetch means fetch for Malphas.
Malphas.
You may occasionally think the wires and synthetic muscles under your skin are your friends, but you're under no illusion that the relationship between you and your employer is anything but transactional. You serve her, she pays you, she pays your friends, she gives you free drugs, she gives you people to kill. You like those things. You just don't like her.
What needs to die?
You feel the fury boiling in your veins. Ready.
Nothing. This is a snatch and grab. Remember?
Snatch and grab means fetch.
Yeah. The hottest snatch and grab in Inferno.
Hope so. The last couple of assignments have been way too quiet.
Where's the package?
The words hang limp from your mouth as you stare out of a window that wasn't actually there. You didn't need a window to know where you were going. The Gate of Blood. The entrance to the Seventh Circle. The place former mortals get dropped off after their corpses hit the ground and shit themselves. Fear. You can smell the fear ahead of you. It was lit up like a sea of stars, far away from the megacity of violence, in the desert of sodomy.
The gate.
You didn't mean to answer your own question.
At least you remember some of the mission brief.
Hostage Killer's eyes are glued straight ahead, toward the screeching sounds of murder and terror, toward the gate.
Oh, I fucking hate gate missions. It's always a complete shit show.
Oh yeah, a real rip of time. Gonna be fun.
You and I have very different ideas of fun, Floor Boy. Getting shot and blown up while going deaf isn't my idea of a good time, no?
So right, Orphan. Getting shit-faced and stumbling about the second circle without my trackies on ain't my idea of a good time either.
Hey, that only happened once.
You always like the way Flower Boy laughs. It's vicious and full of love, just like she is. You stare at her, as you always do. Within moments, you feel yourself slipping into a timeless void where nothing else exists but the two of you. You trail your vision over every inch of her, from her pretty orange eyes to the gentle waves of her hair, from her warm breasts to her fierce arms. You burn every micron of Flower Boy into yourself. You try your best to hold her into your mind as long as you can.
ETA, 5 minutes.
You blink, and the moment passes.
Helmets on, crowns off.
Soon enough, everyone will strap their helmets on and their little flames above their heads will be extinguished. There's no time for joy. The mission, as always, comes first.
It's time.
Orphan Maker noticed that, or at least you think he did, and he turns to you with a gentle smile and his cigarette box in his hand.
One before we go?
You tried getting addicted to smoking once, but sadly, it never took. You always needed something harder, something meaner. And you always appreciate how much he tries to share with you anyways. Your hand opens and signals the Orphan Maker to toss a cig to you. He does, and you see it trail through the air, quick and slow. When you grab it, you place the entire stick of chemicals into your mouth and swallow. You catch one last smirk on the marksman's face before his helmet slips on.
You are such a freak. You know that, fruitcake.
Being a freak ain't such a bad thing, Orphan. I think it makes Fruity special.
Special. She thinks you're special. You want to be special. You want to be her special little freak. You want her to say nice things about you. Just as much do you want her to say mean things about you. You hold your own helmet up. You still don't recognize the person you see reflected in the red mirrored visor. It's you, but not you. A copy of you that's strange and distorted. It's wrong. But the moment you put the helmet on and see from outside of your body, you recognize yourself. This is your face, the real one. It's you. Your name is Fuckhead. Hostage Killer swerves the behemoth through a crowd of new arrivals, crushing them under its massive reinforced wheels.
That aimed at us?
No. Stray munition. 2 harvester gangs fighting down to our left. One of their rockets hit us.
Your non-existent heart starts pounding with excitement. You are so close to it. The sweet thrill of combat and bloodshed. You just have to wait. Be patient. You grip your thighs hard enough to bruise yourself through the suit.
Kid, you remember what the package looks like, right?
You don't. You remember he was old, or at least Malphas told you he was old. That was rare. People who arrive at the Seventh Circle don't normally die of old age. They tend to meet their deaths young, at the end of a gun or the edge of a knife. There was only one class of person you could think of that was Seventh Circle bound while still having the privilege of dying old. Politicians. You lick your lips. You could almost taste the war crimes. Hostage Killer takes your lack of a response as a no and brings up a picture of a dumpy old man in your helmet's heads-up display.
human.
You say as your eyes slowly scan the picture. You remember being human once, a long time ago. Soon, liver spots thrown around his face, and a neck like a dusty cunt. If the geriatric was sent here and lived long enough to look this pruned, then he deserves the disadvantage of terrible joint pain out the gate. There was a name that came with the picture, but you forgot how to read around your 6th or 7th dagger.
Remember, snatch and grab. No harm is to come to the package, fruitcake.
Fetch, you drone. You already memorized every detail of his face. You won't forget for another 10 minutes or so. You're shaking, gripping your seat.
We'll make contact soon. The package died roughly 5 minutes ago, and the Judgment Bureau should be done with him now.
5 minutes. That was a quick turnaround time for the Judgment Bureau. Whoever this guy is, they knew exactly where he was going. No wonder Malphas wanted him so bad.
His soul signature should be showing up on our HUDs any moment. The kid secures the package. Flower Boy and Orphan Maker provide covering fire.
You think that statement is made more for your benefit than the others. This is your job as a close quarters combat specialist. This is your mission. You're here to drag the bloated warmonger to safety and carve up any stupid fuck who gets in your way. You like your job. You're good at it.
We're close to the entrance. Get ready.
You look through the viewport at the slaughter surrounding you. You see one bastard after another stumble out of the gate and receive the classic 7-circle handshake. A kick to the groin, a bullet to the throat, an abduction. Or in the best case, a recruitment. It happens time and time again. A massive, endless battle royale. The souls who aren't fortunate enough to have a team extract them have to fend for themselves, fighting past the blood orgy into the desert, and, if they were lucky, to the city. A mosh pit of blood, of chaos, of pure concentrated fear and murder. You wish you were out there now, but you will be. Soon. You see it as you all approach, a glowing blip in your visor, in the middle of the throngs of damned souls. Him. Your mission.
Says our package. Time to go, fruitcake.
Ready. Ready to fuck.
Let's fucking go! Alright, let's get on with this shit show. They're about to swipe the package.
What?
Hostage killer scans the crowd before an armored van barrels straight toward the old fuck and yanks him out of the crowd by the collar of his suit jacket.
Fuck.
Hostage killer wastes no time chasing after the opposing mercs.
Who are these cunts? Elagos's men-at-arms. I saw the gold horse on the side of the truck.
Elagos.
It takes you a moment, but you remember him. Duke Elagos, the handsome one, the Golden Knight, he who tramples on the skulls of his enemies. He's another Duke, just like Malphas, one who also has a taste for warmongers. Except Elagos likes to eat his. But the most important thing you remember is that Elagos makes some of the fastest vehicles in all of violence.
Faster than a bullet, louder than an atom bomb.
The Malfeasant's behemoth was built to be armored and dangerous. He wasn't built to be speedy. The distance begins to grow between you and your package.
Flower Boy, turret. Blow their tires.
Gotcha!
She aims for the truck's tires and shoots. Most of the bullets hit the chassis. Others blast through the bodies of random poor fucks caught in the crossfire. A few bullets find their way to the truck's back tires to no effect.
Fuck me! Tires are reinforced, I can't pop them!
The APC and the armored truck barrel through the crowd of shades, through the wreckage of crashed vehicles, through fighting harvester gangs and out into the surrounding desert. The armored truck's rear gun ports open. Bullets fly back, pinging off the hull of the APC. sending a crack across one of the front windows. You feel restless, useless. While your friends are driving and fighting, you're left standing with your hand in your pants doing nothing. You bite down on your tongue hard enough to draw blood again. In a few moments, Ellis's truck will reach its top speed, outpacing all of you and disappearing into the desert. Gone. Package lost. Operation failed, and all of your friends at Malphas's mercy. You cannot allow that to happen. Not now. Not ever. You nudge Flower Boy, and she looks down at you. With a fist, you pound your left shoulder and point to hers. To the shoulder missile she has installed.
Boom, boom, tires.
She turns to Hostage Killer, who looks back for a moment.
Do it. If Malphas asks, I'll tell her I gave the order.
Before she returns back to the top hatch, she ruffles the fur on the top of your head and smiles.
Glad it ain't all Swiss cheese up there, Fruity.
She sounded different when she said that. He wasn't teasing. She really means it. She's happy you're still somewhere in there, though you're not sure which you she's talking about. The behemoth speeds up, angling itself to the side of the armored truck. Flower Boy takes aim. The truck's side gun ports open. Bullets spray out. At you, at your friends, at Flower Boy. She focuses, her skin hardening, and the bullets shatter like glass on it, breaking like ships on a rocky beach.
Think you hit hard, don't ya? I'll show you cunts how to hit someone hard.
Her missiles are synced to her helmet. All she has to do is lock on, aim, and fire. The missile flies out and collides against the back wheel of the truck, detonating. Ellis's armored truck launches into the air, the force of the explosion causing it to twirl like a ballerina on fire. It definitely crashes like one. The truck smashes down in front of a dune, lying on its side like a dying animal. You and your friends pull up parallel to the rival Mercs, the front of your APC to the back of their truck with a 500-meter distance between you. Orphan Maker shivers, pupils pulling into pinpricks again.
One of them falls out of the back of the truck and throws a grenade at us.
Flower Boy grabs her light machine gun and spits.
Like hell he is.
She climbs out the left side door and brings her gun up, bracing on the front of the behemoth. A Merc drops out of the back door of the crashed truck, disoriented and bleeding. One of his legs is splintered open like a broken branch. He vomits a hot slurry of blood and stomach acid onto his chest as he tries to get his bearings. He turns to look at your APC, his eyes open wide. Flower Boy fires, her forearms tensing as she squeezes out a hail of fire, shredding through the man's armor and tearing his fragile body clean open. You feel giddy as you see round after round pummel his soft flesh and hear the sound of bones breaking and the wet plop of guts hitting the dry sands. He falls on his back, wheezing, most of his blood now outside his body. He tries desperately to reach for his grenade pouch with the last 3 fingers still attached to his hand. That's when he feels it. The secondary effects of the bullets Flower Boy lodged into his body. Malfesian's Death Song bullets. Premium caseless cartridges for her elite squads. He feels the bullets, glowing in eerie green. They vibrate with each other, resonating, singing. The Merc opens his mouth to sing too, a scream in the choir. He detonates, exploding like an overripe corpse. Blood, intestines, and septic waste rain from the sky. Flower Boy continues firing, and a Hostage Killer exits, rifle ready.
Keep them locked down on the left. Kid, Orphan, to the right.
That's your cue. You move out the back of the APC. An Orphan Maker brings his DMR up, scanning for targets. Hostage Killer moves to Orphan Maker.
Any leaks?
Not yet.
Hostage Killer turns to you.
How many?
Fear sense. Like Flower Boy's iron skin or Orphan Maker's gut feeling, or hostage killer's commanding voice. This is your special talent. Your infernal trait. You look at the truck, smoke and fuel oozing out of it like a fresh wound. Focusing.
5. Crawled out of the top hatch. Pinned between truck and dune. Package still inside. All afraid.
You think and point towards a specific spot.
Captain. Second from the left. He's the most afraid.
Hostage killer turns to the spot you pointed out, closing his eyes, visualizing the target in his mind. He commands.
Tell your friend to run out to the left.
He signals Flower Boy to stop firing. A second passes, then 2, and a Merc runs out to the left, stepping over the steaming remains of his friend. Flower Boy responds with a thunderous roar of automatic fire, and the bullets smash into the Merc's body. He collapses, face first into the gritty, bloody sand. He looks down and sees his legs blown away, body perforated, bullets turning his flesh into a field of red roses, petals softly trickling down his torso. The mercenary opens his ruined mouth and sings.
Boom, boom.
Daisy resumes her suppressing fire, laughing. Your enhanced senses pick up men stuck behind the truck, screaming over the gunfire, over the death songs, their fear burning 10 times brighter than before.
Why'd you tell him to run? I don't know. The fuck you mean you don't know? I said I don't fucking know. He's in fucking pieces. You got him mulched.
Time to move, kid. Flank in a wide arc to the right. Orphan, move out to the right until you get a good angle diagonal to the truck.
Fuck them up.
You say as your leg muscles activate, launching you into a full sprint, machete in one hand and a knife in the other. You move in a semicircular arc from the behemoth over to the front cab of the armored truck. Your feet pound on the hot sand, each footfall sounding like a bomb going off.
Fuck them, 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 fuck them.
Your excitement for the inevitable bloodbath is set on hold as you hear your friend, Orphan Maker, over your comms.
Enemy ambush. Duck left behind the truck.
For a brief moment, you see him. Another mercenary, shotgun in hand and vengeance on his mind. He peeks out. He fires. You dodge left, behind the overturned cab. The pellets only meet air. Before the Merc can look again, Orphan Maker fires. His rifle booms through the dunes. Death songs tunnel through armor and into flesh, and your would-be ambusher falls. You press your back to the truck and close your eyes. You hear him singing. Your enemies are panicking, morale quickly eaten away. They are drowning in a sea of gore and suppressing fire.
What do we do now? Shut up! Let me think!
You shudder as you feel their fear radiating through the crashed truck. You feel it on your skin, burning you like a hot brand.
We can pin down the marksman and push from that angle! We move together! You sure? You wanna deal with the fucking saw gunner instead? Be my fucking guest!
They don't know you're here, in perfect position. You creep to the edge. You can feel him close. You can almost taste his cortisol.
Peek out and get this con of the marksman! Fire at his position and we all push! Got it? Yeah, fine! Got it!
You see the front half of the Merc's rifle stick out, pointing in Orphan Maker's direction. You bring your machete down, cleaving the gun's barrel in two, and taking one of the Merc's arms with it. He screams. You turn the corner and plunge your knife directly into his eye, feeling the dull vibration of the blade striking the back of his socket. Aqueous humor covering your fist. He doubles over in pain and shock. You swing your machete in a clean horizontal arc, and his head sails off his shoulders, launching in the air like a bouquet at a wedding. Crimson roses bloom all over the Merc's torso, their petals flowing from the stump of his neck. Under your face, you lick your lips.
Flower Boy, push up from your side. Support the kid.
Fuck yes!
Flower Boy moves forward, ready to join in the bloodbath. Your bloodbath. The mercenary captain stands in front of you. His last man stands behind him with shaking hands. Their fear is bright hot, like the surface of the sun. You approach them slowly, sand crunching beneath your feet. Your arms open and close in front of you, like the wings of a bat. Machete in your left hand, and knife in your right. Blood drips from both, like twin red waterfalls.
Neutralize.
Fucking typical. I don't know who you are, but I'm going to shit in your pretty little mouth, cuck.
He unholsters his pistol in his offhand, officer style, appropriate for one of Elegis's men-at-arms.
Try.
He fires his handgun, shooting straight from the hip. You can see the bullets trailing towards you. Your knife and machete work in tandem, blocking and deflecting each one sailing your way. Quick. He surges forward, sword aimed straight at the tight gap between your throat protector and helmet. He's slow, slower than Flower Boy's fists. You deflect it with your machete, pushing it down, and your knife comes down in an arc and bites into the side of his face, ripping his eye out.
Ah! Fuck!
The captain stumbles away from you. The left side of his face blossoms with more red flowers. His gun hand shakes as you step forward. The last Merc drops his rifle.
Fuck this!
His eyes turn wild and desperate.
Fuck this!
He runs out in the other direction, desperate to avoid the slaughter. Flower Boy catches him running.
No one left.
You say to the mercenary captain.
Just you.
That's all I need. Don't worry. I won't be gentle.
He swings again, and you roll your head under the blade. You know what he was going to do next. The officer style is predictable like that. You could do this all day, spending your time playing with your food, feeling the sweet taste of adrenaline. But you have a job to do. A job you're extremely good at. Fetch. You throw your knife at the Merc's gun hand. It sinks deep into his wrist and pops out the other side. He grunts and flinches. The gun makes a dull thud as it's dropped. He raises his blade to swing. You have a split second to pass his sword arm. You shoot forward, sliding under his remaining weapon, hands wrapping tightly around his midsection. You bump your hips underneath his and lift him off the ground. You spin and bring him crashing back down. Another ballerina. Another hard landing. You smash him against the sand, hearing something crack as a whirl of dust kicks up from under him. Flower Boy calls this a suplex. He coughs, blood sprays out, likely a broken rib puncturing a lung. He coughs again, wet, the sickening feeling of drowning on land sapping his strength. You straddle his chest, your knees firmly in his armpits. You watch as he desperately tries to reach up, clawing at you.
Fuck! Ugh.
You punch him across the face, sending his teeth flying out of his jaw. You bring your elbow down and shatter the soft cartilage of his nose. You bring your machete up to his neck. All you need is one good slash to get the job done, right down to the bone, like popping the cork on champagne. But you don't. Your meat suit freezes. Your eyes lock onto the object that flew out of the Merc's pouch as you smashed him against the ground. It lies so innocently next to his head. An island in a river of blood. A combat stimulant. An unused dagger full of fury. He didn't have enough time to use it before Flower Boy crippled his truck. He probably wasn't expecting resistance like this. Just harvester gangs and their dumb rockets. Not a guided missile fired from a mercenary's nervous system. You try to give your body commands, to tear your eyes away from the drug, to twitch your nerves and decapitate the fucker, to complete your mission. The one thing you're good at. The one thing you're good for. But that voice is weak. It watches but can't act. The other you, the stronger you, reaches for the injector. You scream, you yell, you beg. It all falls on deaf ears. Blood rushes to your head as you take hold of the dagger. Its smooth plastic feels so good in your hands. You wish you could listen to yourself. That your mind wasn't a fractured, fucked-together mess addled by combat drugs and homicidal psychosexual urges. You wish you had full control of your body again. That you still owned it. But you don't. That's the sacrifice demanded of you. A machine of war fueled by blood and alchemical stimulants. Malphas makes sure of that. You don't know what the thoughts in your head mean, or what the screaming voice is saying, or where the memories of forced augmentations are coming from. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the next hit, the next high, the next dagger injected straight into your tongue. The mercenary below you pulls the knife out of his wrist. He's going to stab you, right where you are weakest. And then he'll toss you off, grab his sword, kill you and all of your friends. Your hand shakes as your two urges fight in the broken no-man's land of your mind.
Let go. Use it, please. Kill him. Feel good now. You need it. Kill him. I need it. I need it. The brush. More. Kill him, please. More, please.
He swings, aiming square at your open armpit. The knife singing a dirge just for you. The small voice inside of you screams. The strong voice says they're sorry. You get ready to die. Instead, his forearm explodes, spraying you in a fresh coat of hot gore. You blink, snapping out of your stupor to the sound of gunfire and screaming. You look in front of you and see Flower Boy staring at you, staring at the injector in your hand. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't need to. You can feel her disappointment radiating through her helmet. You squeeze the dagger in your hand until it cracks, the drug oozing between your fingers. With a roar, you plunge the injector needle first through the mercenary's remaining eye. Skewering it like an olive before scooping it out and grabbing the empty socket for leverage. Your augmented muscles tense, and you pull. His head snaps off his shoulders, red petals drifting slowly through the air. You freeze with the head in your hands, held above you. Flower Boy approaches, and you let go, the head bouncing off the sand. You look at her, and she looks at you. For the first time, you don't feel good when you see her. What do you say to a friend you've managed to disappoint? Excuses? Lies? You don't know, do you? You shut your eyes tight and look away. You don't deserve to look at her.
It's not your fault. All right, Fruity?
You're not sure what she means by that.
You two okay?
Yeah, me and Fruity are fine.
And the package?
You sense a very frightened person still inside the truck.
All right. Orphan, Maker, and Flower Boy, set up defensive positions. Kid, you with me.
As your other friends set up around the perimeter of the truck, you approach the back with Hostage Killer. Both of you peek in. You can barely see him in the dark interior of the truck, but he's there. A fat, white lump of sweat and blood, holding his hand up pleadingly.
Please, don't hurt me. You know who I am, right? I can be useful to you. I can get...
We know.
But...
You've been invited to dinner by Grand Duke Malphas. We're your escorts.
Grand Duke?
You always thought that title was stupid. There are only 6 other dukes in the 7th circle, and they all introduce themselves as Grand Dukes. The lump's hands drop completely, eyes scanning the both of you.
What does he...
She. Details will be discussed over dinner. Do you accept her invite?
Yes. Yes. Of course. Just please get me the fuck out of here.
Get him out, Fruity. Quick.
You walk into the wreckage and help the bloated old monster get to his feet. He's smaller than you. Weaker. A part of you feels a brief spark of empathy as you think about your first time out the gate. Empathy that's crushed a moment later when you remember that Malphas took an interest in him. Which means he's just as bad as she is.
What about the other ghost mercs? Do we butcher, or do we let them regenerate?
No time to butcher. We need to exfil ASAP.
You pile into the APC and leave quickly with your prize before any more trouble can arrive.
You did good, kid. Just rest up now. We'll be back home soon.
You nod back. Hostage Killer may still be your leader, but he never forgets that he's still your friend. The APC rumbles through the desert, and you take your time to regard the recent arrivals sitting across from you. Something about him unsettles you. Something in his eyes. Or rather, something missing from them. He looks at all of you impassively, without any consideration or gratitude for his rescue. No recognition that each of you are all people with lives and hopes and dreams. No recognition that you are even people at all. To him, you're all just pieces on a chessboard. Tools. Pawns to be used and discarded when need be. To him, this is all a game. A game with no other player but himself. A game whose only goal is to accrue as much power and privilege as possible. A game that only he can win. You're familiar with the type. As the combat drugs begin to wear off, you start to remember the brief Malphas gave you about him. In life, he was a war criminal beloved by the ruling class of his country. In death, he's now a guest of Grand Duke Malphas.
So,
he says as he wipes the sweat off his jowls.
What's for dinner?
His name is Henry Kissinger. The last thing you remember was sitting in the APC across from the package. Now you're staring up, blood raining down from above and splattering against the clear glass awning. The sky is black, the color of a television, dead and bleeding on the side of the road. Moments ago, you and your friends were tearing apart a group of rival mercenaries who stole your package. You remember the feeling of your supercharged limbs carving flesh from bone, turning the sands below you to a deep red. You felt strong, invincible. Now your limbs feel cold and heavy. Your head is swimming and feels loose on your shoulders. You try to center yourself, try to figure out when and where you are. You're standing outside, in the garden of Malphas' estate. Daisy is standing next to you, watching you carefully. Your friend Orphan Maker stands across from you, on the other side of the table. He looks at you, concerned. Your leader and friend Hostage Killer stands at the head, near your boss, Grand Duke Malphas. She has a guest, the package you picked up from the Gate of Blood. You watch him, the lump of raw flesh, crawl into one of Malphas' fancy wood dining chairs. With your boss sitting on the opposite side of the dining table, 2 pairs of chairs separating them from each other. You jump slightly when you see the back door open. He was just another servant, bringing out their dinner. Daisy pats you on the shoulder and keeps her hand there.
Easy, Fruity. Easy.
She rubs small circles on your upper back.
What's happening to me?
You're coming down pretty hard from all those daggers, love.
I feel bad.
Yeah, I know. Just focus on my hand, alright? This whole thing will be over soon enough.
She keeps rubbing your back, and you give her a soft hum from your chest. You love her touch. Right now, it's the only thing grounding you. You watch Malphus gingerly place a napkin onto her lap and smile at the package, whose name you keep forgetting and remembering. Kissinger. 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 It looks like you missed their introductions, but you've seen the stand so many times you can recite it in your rare moments of sleep. A handshake, an exchange of fake smiles. Malphus introduces herself. Grand Duke Malphus Killjoy, matriarch of the House of Lead, owner, CEO, and head of R&D at Malfeasance, the largest arms corporation in all of Inferno, founder and general of Yankee UXO, Scourgebringer, and former Tier 1 mercenary, VIP Gold Card member at the Mortal Coil, and finally, her old royal title, the Whore of Death. Even though the Royal Court of Violence hasn't existed in almost 2,500 infernal years, she always insists on being called that title. You think she does it because she's insecure. Not that you'd ever say that to her. The package reciprocates by telling her what meaningless titles he once had. Titles she already knows. He wouldn't be here if she didn't. The servant places 2 crystal glasses of fine blood wine and their respective dinners at each end of the table. One for your boss and one for Kissinger. On the plates is a large chunk of seared meat, a dark sauce drizzled around it, a small serving of red fruit, and 3 identically cut bones lying side by side. Kissinger grabs a fork and knife and gingerly pokes at the steak. It bleeds over his utensils, and a part of you wishes you were back in the desert, knife in hand. Or at that nice restaurant in the upper artery, the one with the spicy blood noodles. One of the two. Just not here.
So, what is this exactly?
Malphus slices into her steak and places a chunk in her beak. She savors the taste for a moment before swallowing and returning to her guest.
A delicacy from the 9th Circle, dear. Rapist shank, freshly butchered. The sins give it a particularly distinct taste that I am rather fond of.
You see her take another slice, the knife sinking through the flesh easily.
The sauce is made from a combination of blood and bone marrow from said rapist, a perfect mix of salty and savory.
Ah, all right. And the sides?
Angel heart fruits from one of the plantations in the 9th Circle. I imagine the serf we are eating farmed it himself.
And the bones, are they also from the same person?
Quite. The sins are the most concentrated in the marrow, and thus they are most prized for their flavor.
The vine?
Blood wine. All from the same source. Not exactly standard practice, but this particular demon was a real piece of work. Deliciously so.
I see. Well, this is certainly fine dining.
I hope it is to your liking, or would you have preferred something kosher, Mr. Kissinger?
Oh, no. This is perfect.
You can smell a spark of fear in him. Borderline microscopic, but present.
Don't worry. Like I told Nixon when I was working under him, I'm one of the good ones.
You decide that you don't like this man.
After all, anyone who's been persecuted for 2,000 years must be doing something wrong.
So I've heard you say.
If it were not for the accident of my birth, I would be anti-Semitic.
Speaking of Nixon, I just want to say I admire your work in Cambodia. Such a fine example of how to completely destabilize a region.
Well, it could have gone better. People found out about Laos and Cambodia eventually, which was less than ideal. In hindsight, the bombing campaign wasn't as effective as I'd hoped. Cluster bomb technology was still rather primitive back then, and not all of the ordnance detonated. Now there's a ton of them just stuck in the dirt. Still, it did its job. And as a bonus, it helped Pol Pot come into power. And he was a real thorn for the North Vietnamese. Well, that. And they're still finding bombs in Cambodia and Laos.
Oh yes, the unexploded ordnance. A common phenomenon among most iterations of America. As you can tell, I am a huge fan.
Of America?
Well, I meant the UXO, but yes, I love America. Every iteration of it. It's a personal inspiration for me. After dinner, I'll show you my collection of Americana. You'll love the flags.
UXO.
You mutter from under your breath. The two in front of you, devouring what remains of a rapist, fades from thought, your mind tuning to a new channel. Yankee UXO, the largest mercenary company in the Seventh Circle. You try not to remember too much about your past life. The drugs definitely help with that. But you can always remember your first day in Inferno. You walked out of the Gate of Blood. A million screaming, shouting voices pushed past you to flee from the violence surrounding them. A terrified mass of flesh. All except for you. You weren't scared. You weren't terrified. You weren't fleeing. You were fucking pissed. You grabbed the first sharp object you could find and started stabbing, slashing, gouging anyone or anything that got near. A ballet dancer on a stage of corpses. But eventually, someone did get near you. Your dance of death ended with a kick to the groin, a bullet in your throat, and an abduction. But the Merc who kidnapped you, the one with Yankee UXO printed on his armor, called it a recruitment. You watch Malphas and Kissinger stab, slash, and mutilate the meat in front of them, knives in hand, feasting, content. Your first deployment for Yankee was on some distant rock with a dying sun in a backwater universe. You stood across a ruined battlefield against a formation of biomechanical mutants. They'd send out a wave of demons made up of recent suicides, armed only with machetes, knives, and grenades. Yankee calls them Wave of Death attacks. Knives in hand, scared, starving, angry. You survived your first deployment, then your second. By your third, they decided to officially enroll you into service. They gave you training, made you into a close quarters combat specialist, and gave you a job. Admittedly, it wasn't so different from what you were doing back in your old life. You liked your job. You were good at it. Extremely good. It wasn't long before you attracted Malphas' attention. And finally, another job offer. As a member of her personal royal guard, the prestigious Killjoys. You and your friends just call each other the Fun Squad. You smile. Daisy notices you smiling and scratches the back of your head. You must have had your face off if she can see you smile. If there was one thing you feel grateful to Malphas for, it was for introducing you to your friends. To Daisy. It's just all the other things Malphas did to you that you're not grateful for. Your daydreaming is cut short by the sounds of Kissinger and Malphas laughing. You didn't catch the joke, nor do you particularly care. Their laughter is cold and hollow, an echo of each other. It lacks the warmth that Daisy's laugh has, the love and its raw violence. No. This is the laugh of two people who would gladly send you and your friends to be shot, stabbed, blown up, and fucked to death in some shithole death world without a second thought. Kissinger tells another joke, another empty platitude, and Malphas lets out another empty, cruel laugh.
If I may ask, who are these people? Your special forces? Security detail?
You notice that as he gets to you, he gives you the side-eye. It drips with disdain.
Ah, yes. You are correct, though these are much more than just mere guardsmen.
With a regal hand, Malphas gestures over to each of your friends.
These are my children.
Your children?
She nods, pointing to each of them.
Their team leader, Napoleon. Their designated marksman, Jean. And finally, my youngest, their saw gunner, Daisy.
Napoleon and Jean give a polite nod towards Kissinger. Daisy doesn't. She pretends not to hear her mother, like she always does.
My children have been groomed to be perfect war machines, as you can tell.
A saccharine stream of empty platitudes fills the air, emanating from the bloated husk of a politician, as sweet as a rotting corpse. His compliments end when he gets to you.
What about that one there? She?
It.
Yes, well, is it one of your children?
Oh! Goodness, no. Absolutely not. I would rather it die than be a blemish on the House of Lead.
Daisy clenches her jaw tight enough that you can hear her teeth grinding. Across from you, Jean lets out a long exhale and shoots you an apologetic look. Napoleon suppresses his urge to cringe so much, it looks like it's physically hurting him.
Think of it more as a useful animal. A pet, if you will.
Like an attack dog.
Yes, precisely, an attack dog. Though it is more like an attack bat, but I am splitting hairs.
Does it have a name?
It had a name, before it embraced its current role, but that was long ago.
What do you call it, then?
We call it Fuckhead now. A more fitting name, I think.
We don't call them that.
Excuse me?
That's not their name. That's just what you call them.
An uncomfortable silence descends over the table, like a cluster bomb deep in the dirt waiting to detonate. Malphas narrows her eyes at your friend, your leader, Napoleon, boring a hole through his skull with her stare. You see Napoleon lighting up like a Christmas tree, fear flooding into his body. He tries to meet her gaze, but eventually he breaks. He averts his eyes, looking down.
By the by, how was the trip? Hopefully it was not too bumpy.
Well, it was certainly a close call. Some other group attempted to apprehend me, threw me in the back of a truck, but your team managed to intercept them.
Really now?
Mm-hmm. I think a missile hit the side of the truck and spun me in the air. I landed with a pretty nasty bump, honestly.
A missile? Was that your doing, Daisy dear?
That's on me. I gave the order. It was my idea. It was...
Napoleon freezes, mid-sentence, as he realized his dire mistake. Malphas turns to him and stares at him. He walked right into a trap.
No, it wasn't.
Lie detection. Malphas's infernal trait. It's what got her where she is today. You can't lie to her. You can't lie to death.
You gave the order, but it was not your idea, Napoleon. Who was it? Napoleon, answer me. Was it Daisy? Was it Jean? No, it could not have been Jean.
Jean looks genuinely hurt. But like all of Malphas's children, he tries his best to hide it.
And if it wasn't either of them, that would mean... No. Really? It was Fuckhead's idea? It had an idea that you three thought was worth listening to.
Your friend's fear burns brighter than nuclear fire.
Oh, it looks like Fuckhead might be getting too independent. Perhaps another round of augmentations is in order.
You can't be serious.
I am.
You said that would be their last round. You promised. You said you'd reverse it.
Do not talk back to me, John.
You watch as John's mouth hangs open impotently. He closes it and lets the silence hang in the air.
Whether or not I reverse Fuckhead's surgery is completely dependent on its performance. If it is acting on its own volition, then that is grounds for further cognitive tweaking.
I don't see how any more cognitive damage would make them a better asset to the team. We completed the mission, and they executed their orders flawlessly.
Say its name.
What?
She points towards you, the edge of her finger looking so very sharp.
Say its name. The name I gave it. Napoleon.
Fuckhead executed their orders flawlessly. Mr. Kissinger being harmed was my fault. Please don't hurt them.
You notice Daisy has been squeezing your shoulder this entire time, holding on to you tightly. You look up and notice a thin trail of blood leaking from her lip where she has been biting it. And for the first time, you notice your hand has been trembling. Malphus looks at her son, impassively. She quickly loses interest in him. She got what she wanted from all of you.
Apologies, Henry. I hope that did not ruin your appetite.
I had 2 of them, myself. I know how it is.
You don't know if that implies Kissinger has a similar relationship to his children, or if he's just trying to butter Malphus up. You almost don't know which is worse.
Of course. Do enjoy the rest of your meal, Mr. Kissinger. It was specially prepared just for you.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. We can discuss my employment now, if you'd like.
Your employment.
You know my credentials. You know about Cambodia and Laos.
And Bangladesh, Chile, Cyprus, East Timor, the entire continent of Africa.
Of course. America's interests were my interests. And I believe I secured them well. And now, your interests are my interests.
Sweat accumulates on his jowls. He wipes it off and loosens his shirt collar.
Sorry. Feeling a bit warm right now.
It is hell, my dear. You will get used to the heat.
Ah, right. Suffice it to say, I can be a valuable asset to you. You've seen my work with Nixon. He isn't here, is he?
Oh, no, not here. I have him hung up in my gallery.
Well, are you serious?
Kissinger freezes. He's nearly sweated through his entire suit. Fear floods his body from toe to tip.
Finally.
You always hated how long Malphus took to play with her targets.
Apologies, but I may need to use the restroom.
Oh, by all means, feel free. Though I do not expect you to go far. Your legs will be giving out before long.
What did you...
What did I put in your food? Oh, nothing. Just a special stimulant I designed. Quite a lot of it, too. I suspect you realize you are having a rather intense panic attack. One that is getting worse and worse until you...
Kissinger hits the floor like a sack of ground meat, eyes wide open and darting wildly.
Are literally paralyzed with fear.
Kissinger scampers up to his feet, making a noise you think sounds like a strangled hog. He tries to run.
Fuckhead, shake.
Her command tears you away from Daisy's side as you bound towards the struggling warmonger trying to flee. You stop him by grabbing the back of his head with your hands, locking him in place. Daisy calls this position a double collar tie. You slam your knee into Kissinger's groin hard enough to feel something burst. Demons call this the 7-circle handshake.
Now, fuckhead, fetch.
Fetch means fetch for Malphus. You pull Kissinger up to his knees. You place one of his hands on the table and pull your knife out. You stab down, punching through tender flesh, hard bone, and solid wood. And then you pin his second hand to the table, He struggles, desperately pulling at his hands, hoping to wedge the knives loose and escape. You grab the back of his head and slam it forward, his teeth breaking on the edge of the table like bullets on Daisy's skin.
Well done.
You were aching for the opportunity to carve this rotten fuck from the moment you laid eyes on him, to make him bleed for the first time in his pampered existence. But now, on Malphas's command, you feel nothing. No joy, no thrill, only a void. An obligation to do for the monster holding your leash. Napoleon rubs his forehead, and Jean exhales, loosening his shoulders.
Are we done here? May we please leave?
She does this every time, with every politician. She makes her kids watch. You don't know why, and frankly, you don't ever want to know why.
Do you have someplace to be, children?
Yes, we were planning to go to the upper artery for a meal.
Where?
Shukufuku. They make spicy blood noodles and meat dumplings.
And the corpse flowers by the entrance smells so nice. Malphas is not looking at her son, but at the crying politician on his knees. And to you, standing over him.
A little treat for your pet.
She smiles, nodding in your direction.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Would it fucking kill you to talk about them like they're a real person for once in your miserable cunt life?
Daisy, maybe you shouldn't have said that.
I always disliked how attached you got to your little pet, Daisy. I understand you, you know. I really do. You are not a little girl anymore, and like anyone else your age, you need to go sow your wild oats. Get it all out of your system. Lords know you will end up just like Jean if you repress it for too long.
From the corner of your eye, you can see Jean pinch his brow and shut his eyes tight. Napoleon walks over and places a reassuring hand on his back.
Fuck off! Don't you talk about John that way. He's still my big brother, and he deserves better than a rotten hag like you fucking his entire life.
I thought it was just a phase, I really did. Your fixation on that piece of river trash standing next to you, I thought you would have managed to grow up a bit more and move on. You did not. Hence, why it was up to me to try and fix things.
She glances at you as she says that last part. Like a broken tool, you need it to be fixed, to be made correct, and put in your right place. Daisy's fists clench hard enough that you could hear her knuckles pop. A rage that can be barely contained by her flesh.
Fix things? I didn't need or ask you to fix shit! We were happy! We were fucking happy!
Our first conversation in so long. And this is how you speak to me, Daisy.
Fuck you.
You hold Daisy's hand as she pulls you in closer, tight against her chest. Malphas leans back in her chair, her eyes unfocusing as she stares at the blood splattering on the glass awning above.
That's fine, of course. I am your mother, not your friend. I don't need your forgiveness or for you to like me. I only need you to understand that what I am doing is best for you. You will understand someday when you have children of your own. All of you will. You should have seen the things my own mother did to me whenever I acted out, Daisy. Be glad that I am more merciful.
Daisy doesn't respond. She only squeezes you closer to her chest, afraid of losing another inch of you. She looks at you, and not at the monster seated on the throne. She reaches down to brush a stray lock of hair from your eyes. Finally, after a small eternity, Malphas speaks.
You may all go. Enjoy your meal, but Fuckhead stays.
Why?
Now, normally I'd love to carve Mr. Kissinger up myself and hang him in the gallery next to his friend Nixon, but... your little outburst just took too much out of me. And who else can I trust for this other than the most talented CQC specialist Yonqui's seen in centuries?
You feel ill. You do not want to be left alone with Malphas. Not again.
It will be a good opportunity to calibrate its systems. And like I said, I have reason to believe it requires some tweaking. Perhaps I shall give them an update while it's here.
We ain't leaving them with you. We just ain't.
You are.
Look, how about I carve him up instead? Fruitcake's tired, so it wouldn't be able to... But...
No! And what did I say about referring to it by its proper name, Jean? Either way, you can barely handle a blade without cutting your own head off.
You never understood why she was so hard on Jean. Why she always seems to reserve a bit more venom just for him. Not that any reason would make you less upset. Kissinger moans and you punch him in the back of the head, bouncing his face off the table. Napoleon steps forward.
We'll all do it, together. We'll segment him properly and have him hung up on the gallery rails in a few minutes.
If any of you talk back to me one more time, your pet dies. Understand?
It's okay.
Everyone turns to you. You realize you haven't said anything until just now.
I'll do it. I can do it.
You pull your machete out from the horizontal scabbard on the back of your belt.
Please don't be upset with them. This is my fault. I think.
You feel woefully sobered up. Coming down from your high hours ago, the desert of reality lay before you now. You belong to a rich and powerful entity. All of you do. None of you have a choice but to make her happy. To contort yourselves to her every whim.
Very good. Maybe Jean and Napoleon were right about leaving your higher cognitive functions. At the very least, you're smart enough to know what is good for you, unlike some other people I could mention.
You grab Kissinger by the scruff of his neck in one hand and grip your machete tight in the other.
Wait! Please wait!
Wait? What for?
I can be useful. You know I can be useful. I can advise you, help you move against the other dukes. I can...
No. Henry, let me be very blunt with you. There is quite simply nothing you can offer me that I don't already possess. I have been at this game for far longer than you, and personally speaking, I believe I am far better at it than you ever were. You simply are not that special.
She stands up and moves down the table, closer to him.
Honestly, at most, you would be more potential competition for me down the line. You would do so much better as a trophy.
Please, don't kill me. I swear
do not worry about that, my dear.
You pull him off the table, knives tearing through his hands as you drag him to the floor. He opens his ugly mouth in a choked, silent scream.
Trophies are much more valuable when they are alive.
You raise your machete high, casting a long shadow over the weeping man. You pause, blade aloft, and turn to look at your friends. At Daisy, at Jean, at Napoleon. Something inside of you is pleading to them.
We aren't leaving you. Promise.
We're not going anywhere, Fruitcake.
Yeah. To the end, right, Fruity?
Daisy stands close to you, a warm hand on your shoulder. You turn to Malphas, looking for approval, lest you all be punished.
Fine. Just get it done quick, you may all leave after. Enjoy your dinner.
Kissinger screams, and the machete comes down, biting into the back of his neck, cold metal splitting his loose skin apart. His screams turn wet. The next swing comes harder than the last, and severs his head clean from his shoulders. The flowers that bloom from his neck smell rotten to you. Malphus reaches down and picks it up, tearing off Kissinger's eyelids slowly and forcing his still conscious, panicked eyes open. She makes him watch. You bring your blade up again and move to the rest of his body. A part of you, the strong part, the loud part, the part that's holding the machete, imagines Malphus's face where Kissinger's is. Your next chop, and the subsequent ones after, hit with more force than you were expecting. Somewhere nearby, Malphus laughs, pulling at your puppet strings. You're trapped here, forever in the palm of a devil's hand. But the other part of you, the weak part, The quiet part. The part who was there before and will always stubbornly remain, brings you elsewhere. Far from Malphas, from Kissinger, from the other dukes and their squads of murderers. You're at Shikufugu in the upper artery. You smell the corpse flowers by the entrance. You're eating the spicy blood noodles you like so much. The broth is rich and flavorful. All your friends are there, happy to see you, happy to be there, happy to exist. Napoleon orders too many dumplings. Jean cleans out their entire bar. Daisy holds your hand and pulls you in close. Her lips touch yours, and you feel a gentle warmth flow through you. But then you blink, and the scene is gone. Back to the present. Back to hell. The only thing you can do is close your eyes again. Now, and for the rest of your life, you swing your blade as hard as your body allows it, and hold on to the ones you love as close as you can. Even if it's fruitless, you try your hardest to imagine a future worth living in. After all, what else can you do?
I think I ordered too much again.
You do this every time, Leo.
Listen, the portions looked smaller on the menu. I swear I could have finished them.
As the saying goes, a man who doesn't know his limits will always suffer.
Oh, Fantem. I don't need to hear that from you, of all people, Jean.
Nah, I think he's got a point. If anyone knows about going over their limits and suffering, it'd be Johnny Boy here.
Oh, come on. That's all in the past. I'm temperate now, keeping things on nice and moderate.
Uh-huh. Sure.
I'm slowing down, pacing myself, you know. For instance, I'm on my third whiskey now, instead of my fifth.
When people say that, they mean glasses of whiskey, not bottles, John.
Do they? I'll do better next time.
Well, our next order is here. I gear 0 mascara brandy and yakitori.
No blood noodles yet?
Not yet.
It's alright. Gives Fruity more time to rest, at least.
Is the kid doing all right over there?
Yeah, I think so. They should be sleeping off the worst of it right now.
Don't know how they can do it. All that sleep and dream smoke stuff freaks me out.
Fruity was immortal once. I think they're more used to it than we are.
What do you think they dream about?
I don't know. Their old life, maybe? They don't really like talking about it, but from what I gather, it wasn't pretty.
Think it's as bad as how Malphas treats them?
I don't even want to think about that. It's all my fault. I fucked it all up.
Daisy.
It's true. You know it's true, Leo. Fruity only got fucked because of me.
If there's anyone worth blaming, it's Malphas, not you.
It feels like my fault.
For doing what, exactly? Falling in love? There's nothing wrong with that.
I don't know, Johnny. I just feel like such a selfish fuck. Sometimes I think it would have been better if... Oh, shit.
Kid stirring.
Daisy. You better watch out, Daisy. Fruitcake heard someone talking shit about their girlfriend.
Fruity? You awake or you still... Oh.
Warm.
Hey, come on. Can't get all snuggly right now, Fruity.
Yeah, I'm all for PDA, but nothing involving my sister, please.
All right. Their blood noodles are here. Wake the kid up.
Come on, Fruity. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
I forgot how much of a heavy sleeper they are.
Oh, like you wouldn't believe. Sun's up, guns up, Fruity. We've got your favorite. Come on. Rio-chan.
Mm-hmm.
It's Daisy. It's time to wake up, love.
Daisy. I'm... awake.
Enjoy your little trip to Sleepy Time Junction, Fruity?
Yes.
Come on. Wipe that crust out of your eyes. It's time to eat.
Blood noodles. Spicy.
That's right. Eat up, kid. You deserve it.
You gonna say that thing again? I always liked it when you do that.
You bring your hands up gently and slowly before putting them together. A soft clap, like thunder, from far, far away.
Itadakimasu.
Daisy leans down and kisses the top of your head.
One of these days you gotta tell me what that means, Fruity.
You lean down and pick up a pair of chopsticks, and with the full might of your body, let out the loudest slurp you possibly can as you inhale a mouthful of noodles. They're delicious, as they've always been. You sigh and lean back, letting the heat of the spice radiate through your body.
So, how are you feeling, kid? You happy?
You see them there, all around you. Napoleon, Sean, and Daisy. Your squad mates. Your friends to the end. They made you a promise. One that can never break. And in return, you've made them that same promise. A stubborn, tiny light against the clustering darkness. Forever. You smile back.
Yes.